AI surrounds us every day, and we're often not even aware that it's being used.
Do you feel artificial intelligence is advancing too fast? Did you know we encounter with it every day? Find out how AI is enabling better healthcare and helping us tackle climate change on this episode of Tomorrow's Tech. I'm Ananya Thyani, here today, joined by Dr. Sue Kay. Sue is a passionate R&D leader with a passion for disruptive technologies, serving as the chair of Robotics Australia. Now, as the CEO of the Queensland AI Hub, Sue and the team are enabling to connect the AI ecosystem through strategy, awareness, and education. Welcome, Sue.
Thanks, Nanya.
Sue, with the current rate of advancement, people fear AI. How is the Queensland AI Hub seeking to change this perception?
The Queensland AI Hub is dedicated to telling the stories about the people behind artificial intelligence and how artificial intelligence can help humans and also augment human potential. So AI surrounds us every day. We use it to navigate, we use it to unlock our phones, to check our spelling, and to help us select the TV shows that we might want to watch. And the other important thing about artificial intelligence, though, is that it can be used to help us solve problems that we as humans have been unable to solve on our own. A problem like that is climate change. We know that with climate change, we're losing a lot of our biodiversity, but we don't have enough scientists to actually catalogue this loss. And using artificial intelligence, we can help to protect the environment by getting it to actually detect and record when there are changes to the environment. So we can use that, for example, to identify when wildfires break out and then use AI to direct emergency services to where they will be the most help. In healthcare, we see AI help doctors to make decisions that allow them to make personal health recommendations for their patients. There was a time when doctors could only really rely on their knowledge about the health of a community, not an individual. But thanks to the proliferation of wearable devices, doctors are now able to give people very individual, personalised recommendations on how they can look after their health. And AI can also help us feed the planet. As our global population continues to expand, we need to produce more food on less land. And artificial intelligence can be used to help us with both food production and distribution, which frees up farmers to be able to focus on sustainable land use practices and also focusing on the future. Here in Australia, we have a number of companies that are working on AI technologies that are key in all of these critical areas, and it's the role of the Queensland AI Hub to be able to tell their stories.
That is wonderful, Sue. I would like to know, how important do you feel the inclusion of STEM education is in order to prepare our upcoming generations for the new world of work? Do you feel AI requires a high skill sets to operate?
STEM should be compulsory for all students all the way through to the end of high school. I think it is important for people to have a STEM background to really understand technology, and that understanding empowers people to have a say in how that technology is then applied in their everyday lives. So I think that's critically important. Having said that, though, I don't think that it requires high-level skills to be able to operate artificial intelligence. AI surrounds us every day, and we're often not even aware that it's being used. And so I think it's also important that even if people don't have a strong STEM background, that they feel the right to have an opinion on how these technologies are being developed and how they're being applied in their lives. I think it's also critical to consider the need for diversity in the teams that are developing AI technologies and making sure that those teams are representative of the diverse nature of the communities communities in which we live. Because if we don't do that, we run the very real risk that the development of some of these technologies will actually alienate the very members of our community who they could most benefit. And so one of the important roles of the Queensland AI Hub is making sure that all Australians feel comfortable having conversations about artificial intelligence and having their views heard on both the development and application of these new emerging technologies.
I agree with you there, Sue. How are you bringing together the communities of regional and urban Australia to achieve the outcomes you're seeking?
Regional Australia has a great opportunity to be at the forefront of developing applications for artificial intelligence, and we're already seeing some great examples of AI-enabled technology that's coming out from our regions. The Queensland AI Hub is looking to help develop these local success stories and connect them in with the companies out in regions who are interested in either creating or deploying artificial intelligence. The Queensland AI Hub is going to be visiting all 12 of Queensland's regions to work in with local organisations to find out what their needs are in artificial intelligence and ways that we can support them to either develop or create artificial intelligence. By actually focusing on these local success stories, though, what we can do is help to build local communities of practice that are self-sustaining so that people don't have to look beyond the regions to get help when they're interested in deploying artificial intelligence. All of the help that they need is within their own sphere of influence. And by doing that, I think what we will see is we'll not only develop sustainable regions, but we'll also see a huge benefit to the Australian economy.
That's wonderful, Sue. What do you see as the clear plan for Queensland AI Hub over the next 12 to 24 months for Queensland and the rest of Australia?
Our plan over the next 12 to 24 months is to develop a industry-led AI strategy for Queensland that clearly articulates our ambition for Australia to be a world leader in the development of trusted AI solutions. We're actively building connections between AI in Queensland with the rest of Australia. We've formed the Australia AI Collective to be our national voice. As other hubs develop around the rest of Australia, we are looking to build those into the collective so that we can scale and really show our influence on the world stage. The importance of the collective is to give national voice to artificial intelligence, but also so that we can undertake projects on a national scale and develop our international partnerships. Another important activity that we're doing is releasing a register of all of the AI companies in Queensland, and then we will expand that to include the rest of Australia and New Zealand. And by doing this, it will help people who have a problem that they think might be able to be solved by artificial intelligence actually link in with the people who might be able to provide that solution, and also give us a much clearer idea of the size of the industry and its impact on the Australian economy. The Queensland AI Hub really acts as a doorway for partners from overseas to look at how they can invest here in Australia and take advantage of the remarkable talent and technologies that we are already creating here. And it is through these partnerships that I think we can fast track the development of a sustainable AI community here in Australia and also really cement our reputation for the development of trusted AI products.
Absolutely, Sue. That is wonderful. And we look forward to Queensland AI Hub bringing about this progress. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Nanya.
To our viewers, if you would like to hear more stories of humans driving AI, follow us on Tomorrow's Tech, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram channels. Let us know in the comments below if you know of any AI companies that are targeting the healthcare and environment sustainability sector. We look forward to hearing from you. Thanks for watching and see you next time on Tomorrow's Tech.
Tomorrow's Tech, presented by 3 Dot Digital.